Mr. Devil, Ken Daneyko here. Can't wait to get your thoughts on the fact that Sheldon Keefe is now the new head coach of the New Jersey Devils. Tom Fitzgerald saying he's an excellent communicator, believes in collaboration, and will take what he's learned previously to make this team a Stanley Cup contender. What was your reaction to the news, Dano?
Well, look, you look at results. I mean, time will tell, but he's had tremendous success in the regular season. I don't want to hear playoffs. I mean, that's a Leaf thing. That's their organization.
That's
not
fair.
about the coach. Get to the playoffs, be a sustainable playoff team, and then you can worry about what you do come playoff time. So I'm excited about it. I mean, the key thing for me said by in that statement by Tom Fitzgerald is you learn from the past. So he had a tremendous 5 years in the regular season. They did win a round finally a couple of seasons ago in the playoffs. But what works, what doesn't? He's coached star players. The Devils have some star players, or certainly in the making, that he should be able to maneuver what is good for these guys, how I can get the most out of them, and what maybe didn't work for me. Sheldon Keefe's an intelligent guy. He really is. And I think he's going to really be able to, grow from his experiences. I mean, it's no different than the player, guys. It is from a standpoint, you learn throughout your career what has made me successful, what's the difference of me when I struggle or what I'm doing wrong. Well, coaches are no different, and that's why you see so many coaches coach a lot of teams. It's a tough job, and we always talk about hired to be fired. Well, Sheldon Keefe, I think, is a really good choice for the Devils. I think he's going to get a lot of these young guys. But again, we got to wait and see, right?
Yeah.
How they respond.
I agree with you. I mean, I agree with you from the standpoint. I like coaches in their second job. I think they can walk into the job. It's like all of us in life, as Dano points out, that you've had some ups and downs. You've figured some things out, hopefully, and things that you maybe thought were mistakes the first go around, you can correct them right away in the second go around. So we'll see how that plays out. I think at the end of the day, for me, Jamie, coaches, you're only as good as the guys you have in front of you on the bench. And when you got the Danikos and the Stevens and the Niedermeyers and the Rafalskis and those guys, you're winning championships. When you don't have those guys, you're not. Last year, the Devils, they had a huge problem with their goaltending. They've got to fix that. That's up to Tommy Fitzgerald. He's got to go get a goalie, maybe two, and really solidify that position. He's got to get some additional experience on the blue line, particularly with young players there with Luke Hughes amongst them on defense. So they're going to get Dougie Hamilton back. That's great news. And I think really they need some size and some strength up front. They got some really talented forwards like Jack Hughes and Jasper Bratt, but these are smaller players. They need some bigger guys to kind of offset that and help them. So for Sheldon Keefe, he's had experience. He's had some success. He'll have a lot of success if Tommy Fitz does his job and adds those pieces.
Right.
If he doesn't, he'll be in the same boat that a lot of coaches are. They don't have the players.
I probably couldn't say it any better. Every piece you talked about, that's
and you watch every game, so
and that's what General Manager Tom Fitzgerald has said along the way. That he's going to try. It's easier said than done. He's going to try to add exactly what you said. A little depth on the bottom six, but guys that are a little heavier, guys that can win puck battles. Yeah, you got to be able to put the puck in the back of the net every once in a while, certainly. But on the back end, you talk about those two young defensemen. They're going to be a year older, a year wiser. These guys can bring offense. Luke Hughes is dynamic. Nemitz is kind of that two-way guy.
Hamilton's coming back.
back.
Thaler and Marino will be better because they'll be better slotted. You could still add one or two pieces.
No question. More kind of like the Vancouver Canucks did.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at the success they had. The Coles of the world, the Zadorovs, Soucy. That's kind of what they need.
You'd like that Zadorov on the Devils.
The big fella. There's a few other UFA defensemen as well that I'm sure
they're going to look at.
Tom Fitzgerald and his staff will be taking a long, hard look at. Just guys that are hard around the net, defend, end plays in their own zone. You need that balance.
No question.
You can't just have all skaters and puck movers and puck handlers. You need that balance. They need a little bit more of that on the back.
Danico?
Niedermeyer, exactly.
Balance. I love that.
And understanding your role, right?
That's right.
And they will have Jake Allen back. I remember we had Tom Fitzgerald on here the day of the trade deadline, and he said that we think Jake is a really good goalie. We still see him as our number two. And I thought that was really interesting that he just came out and said that. He said it is a priority of his to then go out and find that number one, still kind of an elusive number one goalie that the Devils are looking for. They'll hope to address that in some form during this offseason.